Mark Miller, and this is Katie Minnendorf. We're the team leaders of the Signature Group at Century 21 Carolyn Riley Realty, located in Fairlawn, Ohio. We know that real estate can get confusing fast, and if you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in properties, there's a lot of information out there, but sometimes the answers aren't always clear. So we're here to let you in on some of the conversations that we have every day as realtors, so we can break things down, talk them through, to hopefully help you get the answers that you've been looking for. So let's get started. Okay, so we talked about the exit strategy. Let's talk about entrance. So when someone is buying a rental, what do you think some of the things are that they should pay attention to that gets overlooked sometimes?
I'm going to say the thing, first of all, if you're buying a rental, you need to put your eyes on it in person, physically, or you need to have a representative if you're buying in an outside market. And it's not just a representative, it has to be a representative you trust or understands rentals. Mm-hmm. So I love residential agents, don't get me wrong, but unless they have experience working in single or small multifamily rental purchases and beyond just the transactions, they may not always be the strongest choice in this situation. You just got to know what your end goal is and make sure you have somebody who's well versed in that type of investment. So that person or you should, again, boots on the ground. You need to look at more than just pictures and videos. Mm-hmm. So we need to look at the actual structure in the basement for the foundation, because sometimes things may not be captured in photo or video. You need to look again at how the tenant, if it's tenant occupied, is taking care of the property. Mm-hmm. A big thing that I think gets missed, because some people are like, well, I'm not living there, it doesn't matter, is the functionality of the space.
Sure.
I mean, that is huge. I mean, how desirable is it as a place to live? Mm-hmm. I mean, we were just talking about that property that you walk upstairs and then there's a room with the door to another bedroom and a bathroom on the far side of that.
Yeah.
That is not a functional 2-bedroom space.
Yeah, and I think that one thing is looking at a property purely based on numbers can be a problem. Like, especially going back to fair market rent, you can look at a house and say, well, the fair market rent is $1,200, but will people actually pay $1,200?
Sure.
Because it's not functional, because there's a bathroom through a bedroom. Mm-hmm. It's those are things you have to really see.
Exactly.
In a listing photo, you're going to see a bedroom and a bathroom. Mm-hmm. You're not going to see how that gets into there.
Exactly. Now, I will say, on the other side of that place would be rentable. It just would be rentable at a lesser amount of money. So you would just have to keep that in mind. So when you're buying the property, you need to account for the reduced rent. If it's a good space, somebody will rent it. Mm-hmm. And then you also need to account for, on your way in, what your way out's going to be, because you're only going to be able to sell it for less unless you find a sucker, which there is one born every day, but we certainly don't promote that behavior.
So we talked about kind of functionality in bathrooms. What are some other characteristics that can make a house more rentable? What do people like?
That's great. So I can really only speak to Northeast Ohio, because that's where we're at. So they like aesthetics. I mean, it does not mean that it has to have quartz countertops and, beautiful stylish wallpaper, but it should be clean and nice and current, and fresh. Odors can be really offensive to people. Just like, think like a home buyer. Tenants shop with their eyes, they shop with their emotions, they have, they like a decent sized bedroom. Just because you're a tenant or a renter doesn't mean that you don't have those same, wants. So if there's air conditioning or a 2-car garage or a first floor bedroom or a bath and a half instead of just a full bath, those are definitely amenities that are going to rent your space faster, as well as you might get a little bit more rent for some of these.
Sure, I was wondering if people, like in the real estate sales side, people will pay more for amenities.
Yeah.
Is it the same in rent?
Yep, absolutely. I will rent a house in actually pretty much the C-class neighborhood, B-class neighborhood, doesn't matter. If it has a functional 2-car garage or an air conditioner or a half bath, almost always it rents faster and at a higher rate.
That's interesting. So really, it sounds like the bottom line is we're thinking kind of like as we were buying the house, and that really simplicity and layout and functionality is really the key.
Absolutely. So layout, functionality, actual like a deeper dive into the condition, and making a plan. If there is deferred maintenance, just figuring out what your all-in number is going to be, and be conservative with your rent amounts. Just keep yourself in the black.